to be paid?
That undertaking, Mr. Chair.
Can I then, Chair, throw that question perhaps to the county government?
Okay, go ahead, Governor.
It depends on certificates. Once it is established that the works which are described in the bill of quantities have been carried out in accordance with the requirement, then that is when the money is due and payable.
There is just an observation, because I want to help you, Senator Crystal.
Chair, I don't know if I need help. I'm not sure you know where I'm going with my...
That's very arrogant, but it's okay. Go ahead.
No, Chair, the next part of the question would be, how was the first or the balance released without the certificate that the governor is alluding to or talking about? How does that work?
But we'll come back to that, but there's something you asked that I wanted to expound on. You had asked about the payments that are pending. The contractor, in responding to you, Senator Crystal, the contractor said that the balances that are, the money that have been paid is 668, okay? And 60. And the remaining amount from the county government is about 800,000. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Chair.
Yet you have committed to pay 1 million to the damages. So if you are relying on the payment from the county government, that mathematically doesn't add up. So what I wanted to further interrogate is this. Was this the project amount? Was that all the project amount? Are you saying that the project amount was 800,000 or thereabout plus 600 or thereabout? Is that what you are suggesting to this committee?
Mr. Chair, without engaging this honorable committee in a lot of verbosity, we actually didn't want to say more, but we had issues.
No, answer my question. Don't frame your question and answer it. Sum 1.4 million or 1.5 million thereabout. That's the question I'm asking.
That was the contract sum.
That's the contract sum?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
To build a hospital?
Mr. Chair, I don't know where you got this issue of building hospital. We have supplied the documents to this Senate. We are talking about septic tank. The hospital is already in existence even before the county government came in place. Yes, it's about building hospital.
But what I have here from you, can I read it for you? What I have here is project name construction of maternity wing at Paporiang Dispensary.
Mr. Chair, that's not our document. We supplied the Senate with our document, and our document said notification of award, tender CGS for proposed septic tank, sockage pit, and placenta pit at Paporiang Dispensary in southeastern Lagos. That is the document that we can speak to.
So my question to you would be, if you have been paid 600,000 already, how much out of that have you paid the petitioner?
We've not paid the petitioner, Mr. Chair.
And you say that the intention to pay the petitioner is when you have been paid by the governor, by the county government?
Your Honor, the whole issue of that contract that is subject to these proceedings, we would be challenging it in the right forum. We are actually not in the right forum. The whole thing in terms of the factual position.
What do you? Then what do you have, Senator Kinyua? Sorry, what would be the right forum?
Chairman.
I'm coming back to you, Senator Sige.
Chair.
Senator Kinyua.
Then we need him here, now that he's in the wrong place. But I think we allow him to leave. Because seriously, we cannot have wasted our time listening to someone not in the right place. We are wasting our time listening to
Perhaps, Chair, I have not been quoted rightly.
No, and that's why you're in the wrong forum, because here you speak through the chair. Senator Sige.
Thank you, Chair. If you'll allow me to continue with the few questions that I had. My next question, after the contractor confirmed that he has been paid part of the money and is waiting for the other part of his money, was to the governor and his team, which is about when will the rest be paid? And the governor was beginning to respond by saying that it requires a certificate. I forget the entire title that you used, Governor, but a certificate of completion, perhaps, but you'll correct me if I'm wrong. So my question is, how was the first 660 paid without said certificate? How does that work?
For most contracts, unless they're very special contracts, a public body will only pay for work done that has been certified, inspected, examined, and there are many stages. For example, when you're building a building, when you put up a foundation, at that level you can make a claim, and our engineers would go and certify at that stage whether the proper works have been done, and you will be paid for that work which is done.
Okay.
You're not paid for the contract sum, you're paid for the work done.
Okay.
All right, Chair. My next,
Please, one more, because there are a number of senators who also want to ask.
Chair.
There's a press of time also.
I understand, Chair. I've been waiting for my opportunity, and they're quick questions. Chair, then the question is to the contractor. Where is the certificate? Had the work been completed? And if so, has it been inspected by the engineers that the governor has mentioned from the county to certify that work has been done in full?
Before the contractor answers, and that's why I was trying to intervene, the contractor's lawyer has said very clearly that he's not in the right forum. I want to put it to you that this forum, whether right to you or not, after this meeting we're going to have a report that is legally binding. So I want to give you an opportunity that if you're in the right forum, then you can answer that question. But if you're not on the right forum, then I would wish you the courage to perhaps excuse yourself. So I just want you to tell us whether you are on the right forum to answer these questions or not, so that if you're not, then we can engage with the others who feel like this is the right forum to address this issue.
Mr. Chair, I expected patience from this honorable committee and also to pick my words with measure. I said the validity of that contract will be challenged in the right forum. This forum is not questioning the validity of the contract between my client and the petitioner. And the reason behind that is because we are in possession of a letter from an advocate indicating that they will be moving to court if he is not being paid. So in addition to what His Excellency the Governor said about forum shopping, we are actually in the 6th forum. The Governor said the 4th, me I'm in the 6th. The first forum was the consent between him and my client. They had a settlement. He ran out of that settlement, went to the county government through the CEO, ran out of that, went to CAJ, ran out of that, came back to county assembly, now is before Senate. And we also have a letter from his advocate threatening to move to court. Court will be a forum to interpret the validity of the contract, which I doubt is what we are doing here. For purposes of what you invited us here for, I'm in the right forum. For purposes of interpreting the validity of that contract that they signed with my client, we will do that in the forum that they have threatened with his advocate that we'll be moving to, perhaps after the Senate.
Senator Miraj. Miraj, go ahead.
Chair, hapa kuna mviringo wa jambo ambalo bado hatujaweza kulipasua katikati na kuelewa. Naona sisi sote tunazungumzia shilingi milioni 1 ambao ni makubaliano baina ya mlalamishi na mkandarasi. Lakini swali kuu katika hii petition, kama tumeisikiza vizuri, kuna swali nimeuliza na bado mpaka sasa sijapata jawabu. Nimeuliza kama kulikuwa na kibao cha kuashiria ni mradi gani unaendelea katika hilo eneo la ulalamishi, na ulikuwa ni mradi wa aina gani. Tumezungumziwa miradi mitatu tofauti katika hii kamati. Tumezungumziwa mradi wa barabara ambao ndio mlalamishi ameleta katika malalamishi yake. Kuna mradi ambao umezungumzwa wa hospitali ambao inasemekana wakati mkandarasi alipokuwa anakimbilia kuharakisha ndio mradi ufunguliwe akawa anatengeza barabara. Hivi sasa hatimaye wakili tena wa mkandarasi anatuambia ya kwamba ni shimo la choo walikuwa wanachimba. So mimi hata sielewi niko katika mazungumzo ya nini. Na wakili wa mkandarasi ametueleza wazi kwamba hapa mbele yetu ameleta stakabadhi ambazo sisi wote hatuna, za kuashiria ni mradi gani ulikuwa unaendelea wa mkandarasi hapa. Wajua sisi kama kamati ya bunge ni wasimamizi wa wananchi na mabunge 47 ya ugatuzi hapa Kenya. Kwa hivyo ni vyema sisi kama kamati kwanza tukubaliane ni mradi gani ulikuwa unafanyika, ndio mahindi ya mlalamishi wetu yakavunjiwa. Sisi ni miwa hatujui hata ni mradi gani ulikuwa unaendelea. Na sote we are comfortable kusema kwamba mlalamishi alipo milioni 1 na mkandarasi na hayo mambo yaishi. Na mimi nasema it is not out of nowhere. Huyu mlalamishi hakutaja county government kwa bahati mbaya. Ni kwa sababu mkandarasi mwenyewe alimleta katika gumzo la kwamba pindi nitakapolipwa na gatuzi ya Siaya ndiyo na mimi nitakulipa haya maagano tuliyokubaliana nayo. Kwa hivyo ni vyema tutambue ni wapi gatuzi ya Siaya imeletwa katika mazungumzo haya. Na sisi kama kamati wakati tunaenda kuandika ripoti tunahitaji stakabadhi za kuashiria mkandarasi alikuwa anafanya mradi gani, kwa sababu katika haya malalamishi kuna maswali ibuka. Na amezungumza kwa uweledi ya kwamba baada ya gatuzi ya Siaya kuona kwamba kulikuwa na matatizo ya hiyo kandarasi inayozungumziwa, walijitoa na kumwacha mkandarasi kubeba lawama. So kuna mingi sisi kama seneti, kama kamati tunapaswa kuyatafiti kwa undani. Na ni vyema wakati tunayatafiti haya yote tuwe na stakabadhi kutoka gatuzi ya Siaya na kutoka kwa mkandarasi, ni makubaliano ya mradi gani yalikuwa yanaendelea wakati hasara ilipopatikana katika shamba la mlalamishi wetu. Asante mwenyekiti.
I thank you for that. I wish you could have also put it in a question to a specific person on the other side. But there is a question that Senator Crystal Asige asked that I wanted you to refer to. You've only talked to the issue of validity of the contract, which I can assure you that this Senate has got the power to actually establish, if you are willing to engage to that level. Because whatever we are doing here, you read the Constitution. We are sitting here under Article 125 of the Constitution. Therefore, we sit with the same powers as the High Court. So part of the questions why the Senate has talked passionately about this is because there are a lot of validity issues and questions that are hanging about, that you denying us the information that you need to give us to the validity, to your contestation of the validity of the contract is just as important to this committee as possible, because you have been summoned here, or rather invited here, to give evidence to this committee as far as this petition is concerned. So let's establish that you are here on the right forum, and therefore respond to the question that was set forth by Senator Asige. And then I'll come back to respond to what Senator Miraj has asked.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We stand guided and we will be very much willing, should the Honorable Committee want to assess our position about the validity. As to the question by the Honorable Senator, yes, we completed the task as assigned, and that's why we are saying there is that balance to be paid. The task was completed.
The governor's team, the governor through his team as well said the completion will then be stamped after being assessed by engineers by a certificate. So if you feel like the work has been completed to its logical conclusion, have you received that inspection and subsequent certificate of completion?
Through the chair, I think the issue of certification as to whether the work has been completed, that would be better answered by the governor's team. But from the document that we supplied, there's a document dated 4th November 2021 that speaks to that procurement, inspection, and acceptance certificate. Completion status, 100%. We supplied these documents through the email that we were given in the letter communicating to
or 34 million? Give me only one answer.
Odwaro mondo miye duoko achiel. Idwaro mondo chuli million achiel, idwaro mondo chuli 1.3 million, koso idwaro mondo chuli 34 million.
Mondo chula 34 million.
Tell him to summarize that. Listen, I want to tell him to summarize. 34 million, I want it to be paid because of XYZ. Because either you tell me your crops that were destroyed were worth that amount, or there was any other thing that was destroyed that is worth that amount. I want it just simple like that.
Nika kochakre 2021 nyaka sani gik mang'eny mosekethore kaka dhi konyra onge to mani gima nyokonya na goyo ni 34 million komia tadhi tiyogo mondo akonyra go.
Since 2021, there are issues that have arisen, and in my view, if I'm paid that 34 million, it will really assist me.
So what is the 34 million for?
34 million en marango.
Aketo weche duto te e yotas number 39 thuolo okoyiena mondo achak some to bugni nase yuda sechiwe mamiugo tok dwe mondo ung'i iye ka kendo formulating payment plan bende ne osewuoye nase chiwo buk.
Now, I've submitted my justification under Appendix 39, which is in this book, which I submitted before. Moreover, there is a payment plan that is also in my submission.
Senators, I wanted your comment on this.
Chair,
because if you look at the petition, and I want to summarize very fast because of time, Appendix 23. That's what we have. And it's in this one book, the red book. Do you have it? Or it is only me who have it? But essentially, we should have made a copies for all senators. What I'm seeing there, if I summarize it because of time, and I don't need to do this, Senator, but usually you should see it by yourself. The claim is destruction at point of when it happened, and then damages, I think so. Damages include things I've seen there like, trespasses,
Chair, if I am not interjecting you,
yes.
But I asked that question, and he explained, he talked about 0.5 hectare of land.
Yes.
He said 1.3, he has
Yes.
not cultivated from 2021. So he's repeating the same.
It's Appendix 39.
Yeah, he
No,
explained.
the reason why I was asking for that is because I wanted to ask him the next question is, does he acknowledge that the agreement that he had with the contractor was 1 million?
No agreement maningo kod contractor ne 1 million.
Ang'eyo kendo asen ne wawinjre kode e seche ka.
Yes, I know, and that agreement was as at that time.
Okay. Have you revised the 34 million with the contractor in any paperwork or in any form?
Benchika miwinjrie kod contractor e 34 million.
Contractor neno tek makawuono eka nene en ng'at ma kata kadire to oringa ma achalom na ng'at ma no osehinyo ng'ato.
The contractor is very evasive.
Okay.
Koro gima natimo e wachna ni nene akete ni josiejei ma formulating and payment plan Siaya County kod Minister Marod no dhi mowinjore bowacho ni otieno ka giduogo Siaya tichula nikech gin ema ne gioro ng'ani mondo keth gika.
The Minister of Roads, County Government of Siaya, met with the CAJ and they agreed on formulating a payment plan.
A payment plan for 34 million or for 1 million?
19.
Esechego ne 19 million plus 1.327 million. Koro total pesa mane Minister kod County Attorney Masiaya owinjre mbele jo CAJ tok kagise bedo summon ne en $21,000 esecheka nyaka sani onge achanta gi nyithindo kaka dhi konyra onge.
As at the time of this agreement, the county attorney and the minister in charge of roads had agreed on a payment plan with CAJ of 21 million, and the records are there.
Governor, may you comment on that part of the information?
The agreements that are in place are those one between the contractor and the petitioner. There is no such evidence of the county government ever getting into a written agreement to pay 20 or 34 million. And that's why CAJ itself never gave such an award, and instead encouraged the county government to carry out investigations and report back to the CAJ.
Governor, because of time, I want to ask you a very simple question. Has there been any meeting between the petitioner, yourself, or any member of your executive with regards to this matter, and specifically with regards to compensation? I'm not asking for written agreement. I'm asking, has there been any meeting between the petitioner and any member of your executive with regards to this compensation issue?
I would not deny that there have been meetings, but in any such meetings, there's never been an admission. The only closest moments when we can say there was some pathway towards that objective was when the Minister of Agriculture was involved, but it was only on the question of assessment of damage, because as the Senator Polakipe was saying, which authority then would do an assessment? Sugarcane, the more appropriate body to look at the damage without considering the question of liability would be the Department of Agriculture.
The petitioner has said that there was a meeting with the CEC roads.
Yes,
are you aware of this?
There was, but it never resulted in any agreement being made or a contract being entered into.
Was it?
And if it was so, there was a full hearing of this matter before the county assembly, and no such proof of admission